online learning experiences that question one, can you describe your overall experience with online learning so far?
Absolutely. When it comes to describing overall experiences, people often highlight aspects like flexibility, accessibility, and the convenience of learning from anywhere. At the same time, some common challenges might include issues with engagement, technical difficulties, and feeling isolated. It definitely varies from person to person. Let me know if you'd like more details or specific examples.
Question two, what motivated you to choose or participate in online learning?
That's a great follow up question. Common motivations for choosing online learning include the flexibility to learn at one's own pace, the ability to balance learning with work or personal responsibilities, and access to a wider range of courses and institutions that might not be available locally. Some people are also motivated by cost effectiveness and the comfort of learning from home. It really depends on individual circumstances and goals.
Question third, which online learning platform or tools have you used and how effective were they?
That's an insightful question. Some popular online learning platforms include Coursera, edX, Udemy, Khan Academy, and LinkedIn Learning. Each of these platforms has its own strengths. Some are known for their university level courses, while others focus on practical skills and more affordable options. Effectiveness can depend on the course content, the teaching style, and how well the platform supports interaction and engagement. It's always interesting to hear personal experiences and preferences.
Question four, how would you compare online learning to traditional face to face learning?
That's a great question for gauging perspectives. Generally, online learning offers flexibility, allowing learners to access materials anytime and from anywhere, and often at a more personalized pace. On the other hand, traditional face to face learning usually provides immediate interaction, hands on experiences, and direct social engagement, which can enhance motivation and immediate feedback. Both approaches have their unique strengths and challenges, and the comparison often depends on personal learning styles and preferences.
Question five, what challenges have you faced while learning online? For example, technical issues, distractions, communications.
That's definitely a key area to explore. Some common challenges include technical issues like unstable internet connections, software glitches, or compatibility problems. Distractions at home, like household noise or other responsibilities, can also impact focus. Additionally, communication can sometimes feel less immediate or personal, making it harder to ask questions or engage in discussions. Recognizing these challenges can help in finding effective solutions and improving the overall online learning experience.
Question six, how well do you feel you can communicate with you instructors and classrooms in an online environment?
That's an important aspect to consider. In an online environment, communication can vary a lot. Some learners feel that virtual platforms like discussion boards, video calls, and messaging can still foster meaningful interaction. However, others might find it less immediate or feel that it's harder to build rapport with instructors and peers. The effectiveness often depends on the tools being used and the instructor's approach to engagement. Overall, it can be just as effective as in person communication with the right strategies in place.
Question seven, what strategies do you use to stay motivated and manage your time during online courses?
That's a really valuable question. Some effective strategies include setting a consistent schedule, breaking down tasks into smaller, manageable chunks, and setting specific goals and deadlines. Creating a dedicated study space can also help minimize distractions. Additionally, staying connected with peers through study groups or discussion forums can keep you accountable and motivated. Finally, rewarding yourself after completing tasks can be a great way to maintain motivation.
Question number 8. How does online learning affect your engagement and participation in class?
That's a great point to explore. Online learning can sometimes lead to varying levels of engagement. On one hand, the flexibility can help learners engage at their own pace, and some find it easier to participate through written discussions or forums. On the other hand, the lack of face to face interaction might make it harder for some learners to stay actively involved, and they might feel a bit isolated. Ultimately, it depends on the platform design, the instructor's engagement techniques, and the learner's own preferences and habits.
Question 9. Do you feel that the learning material provided online, videos, ratings, quizzes, or why not?
Absolutely, that's a key consideration. Many learners find that online learning materials can be quite effective, especially when they're well designed and engaging. For example, high quality videos and interactive quizzes can enhance understanding and retention. However, the effectiveness can vary based on the clarity of the content, the pacing of the materials, and how well they cater to different learning styles. Ultimately, when the resources are well structured and thoughtfully created, they can be just as effective as traditional materials.
Question 10. How comfortable do you feel using technology required for online learning?
That's a really relevant question. Comfort with technology can definitely impact the online learning experience. Some learners feel quite at ease with digital tools, software, and platforms, which makes the learning process smoother and more enjoyable. On the other hand, some people may face a learning curve or feel a bit overwhelmed by the technology, which can cause frustration. Overall, the level of comfort often depends on prior experience, the quality of the tech support, and the user friendliness of the platforms involved.
Question number 11. How has online learning affected your academic performance or learning outcomes?
That's an insightful question. For many learners, online learning can either positively or negatively impact academic performance depending on factors like self discipline, time management, and the quality of the course materials. Some students thrive with the flexibility and self paced structure, often achieving better outcomes. Others might struggle with the lack of direct support or the potential for procrastination. Ultimately, the impact on learning outcomes really depends on the individual's approach and the support systems in place.
Question number 12. What types of online activities, for example, discussion, group work, recorded lectures, work best for you?
That's a great question to understand personal preferences. Different learners often find that certain activities suit them better. For example, some people thrive in interactive discussion forums where they can exchange ideas and get diverse perspectives. Others might prefer group work, as it allows for collaboration and peer learning. Recorded lectures are great for those who like to learn at their own pace and revisit complex topics. Ultimately, it's all about what keeps you engaged and helps you learn effectively.
Question 13. How satisfied are you with the feedback you receive from instructors in online classes?
That's an important aspect of online learning. Some learners find that online instructors provide timely, detailed, and constructive feedback, which can really enhance the learning experience. However, others might feel that feedback is sometimes delayed or less personalized compared to in person classes. Ultimately, satisfaction with feedback can depend on the instructor's approach, the tools used for communication, and the overall course structure. It's always helpful to have clear channels and expectations around feedback.
Question 14. What improvement would you like to see in online learning platform or teaching methods?
That's a fantastic question to gather valuable feedback. Some common improvements that learners often suggest include more interactive and engaging content, better technical support, enhanced opportunities for real-time interaction, and more personalized feedback. Additionally, improvements like better mobile compatibility, more accessible resources, and more diverse teaching methods can really enhance the learning experience. Ultimately, it's about creating a more engaging, supportive, and flexible environment.
Question 15. Would you prefer to continue online learning in the future? Why or why not?
That's a great concluding question. Many learners appreciate the flexibility and convenience of online learning, so they might prefer to continue it for certain courses or for lifelong learning. On the other hand, some might prefer in-person classes for the direct interaction and hands-on experiences. Ultimately, it often comes down to the specific needs, goals, and personal preferences of each learner. It's always interesting to see how perspectives evolve over time.
Thanks, lot of thanks. All the question has been completed.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help. If you have any more questions in the future,